From the west side of El Paso, it's the AfterBuzz with your host, Brandon KLAQ!
Hi, everybody. We missed last week, didn't we? Well, I was gone last Wednesday.
Yeah.
Did anybody fill in or do anything?
No.
And then I think the previous week we missed as well.
Yeah,
Is that the one when Facebook was just being a pain in the ass?
It was.
And we weren't able to do anything because Facebook Live sucks?
But we're not on there anymore, so.
Well, so I'm back from vacation. Got to drive a healthy 10.5 hours.
Damn.
Yesterday.
Aren't you lucky?
Nope, not at all. No, kind of a. It's a long drive. Not gonna lie, it's a long drive.
A little bit.
And it would be even longer if we took like normal breaks. But I'm like, dude, we're hoofing through this thing, and we even got delayed a little bit. I think we made it to Houston in 10 last week, and then coming back, it was 10.5 because we got sidetracked trying to find breakfast in a damn gas station in San Antonio. It was a pain in the butt. But no, so welcome back to the AfterBuzz. We're back on YouTube today, ladies and gentlemen.
Woo!
So I will be trying to sift through the chat here, see if there's any questions. Again, if you guys have any questions, comments, anything you want brought up on the AfterBuzz, you can always do that in the chat. If we happen to not see it and it gets skipped, you can bring it back up. If you notice that it gets skipped more than once, chances are we're just ignoring you. That's what we like to do, right,
Pretty
Scott?
much it,
Because
yeah.
we're the cool kids.
We're the cool kids with everything that entails.
We have gotten this question more than a few times. Especially today in the chat, is will the show, the morning show, be posted on YouTube now that we're back on YouTube? No, it will not be. And
Sorry.
The whole reason is we think this is why we got pinged for the copyright infringement, is that when you stream something live, it's kind of a different set of rules than when it's recorded. And what happens is when we leave the show up there, even if it's not the songs that we play, if it's just clips, like when we're doing YouTube Black Hole or we're doing anything that involves copyrighted material, when it just sits on YouTube, they have these bots that go in and just watch it and they mark it, and then that gets sent to YouTube. And we think that's why we got booted. Because, it took a couple of months, didn't it?
Yeah, it was about
Like
a
the
month.
actual violation was like a couple of months before we actually got banned. So at least we're guessing that that's why, is that like
It's
one
not
of
a
those
guess.
bots went through.
It's not really a guess. We know that's exactly what happened, but it means that anything that we archive, unless we go through 5 hours of every show every day and cut out anything that's potentially copyrighted, there's no way we can archive it.
No, and it's just not worth the time to do that.
We like all of you, but we don't like any of you that much.
Exactly. So, welcome to YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. And so yeah, again, if you guys got anything that you want to bring up, maybe you guys have Houston driving stories. Pretty uneventful, which I do have to say, absolutely fantastic driving out there, is that it was uneventful. Not a lot of traffic. The weather was super nice. When you really get out, leaving El Paso, or actually leaving Houston, and you get to those outskirts of the cities where there's no streetlights or anything and there's almost no traffic, it almost kind of feels like you're in a spaceship because it's so pitch black that
Floating along.
yeah, it's almost like you're floating. It got a little, when we were leaving to Houston, it almost got a little mesmerizing where I was kind of like, oh, I feel like Han Solo right now. This thing is kind of cool. Like, Chewie over here is asleep, but Chewie, referencing my girlfriend, not my dog actually, because she was the co-pilot heading out there. And so yeah, so I mean, it was pretty cool going up to Houston. I had not really seen my girlfriend get this angry before, but it was about Christmas decorations already being up.
Wow.
We're just driving around trying to find a place to eat dinner. The last night we're there, and we hit this road, and it's one of those, you can tell it's kind of a highfalutin area of town where there's big old palm trees on the side of the street. It's a 4-lane road with a median where it's got like there's other trees and stuff in the median, and then it would have like the occasional left-hand turn that would pop up, and the trees are completely wrapped in lights all the way around. And you think, okay, maybe they're orange for Halloween, right? No.
Right, no.
Sitting right next to it are these big ass ornaments, and I'm not joking. Like the ornaments were like this big; they're huge. So that's one of those things where all of a sudden she just looks at me. She goes, "It's not even fucking Halloween." And I looked at her. I'm like, "Are you?" And she's like, "I'm like, really that angry?" She's like, "Yeah." She's like, "I am." She's like, "This pisses me off." I'm like, "Oh, geez." So
that's great.
I got a good kick out of that. And so anyway, so then we're hanging out in Houston. I went driving around looking for the stuff for my Halloween costumes because there's going to be one for the morning show and then one that I'm doing at the family at night. And does Buzz think the one we're doing is still a secret? Because he said that on the show today. He's like, "Oh, we're still keeping it under wraps."
Oh, I don't know.
I didn't think it was a secret, but
whatever.
I guess you'll just have to wait and see. But I'm still struggling to find something for our costume for the morning show. But with the family, we're going as the characters from the movie Up. I'm Carl Fredricksen. So I went to Goodwill and I bought an old man outfit.
Gotta do it.
And my girlfriend is going as Russell, the little kid. And the daughter, she's going as Kevin, the bird.
Oh.
Kevin's a girl. Kevin's a girl.
I think maybe she was going to be the balloons.
No, we did think about dressing one of us up as the house. And it was even to the point when with me designing the house out of cardboard and then getting a bunch of balloons and then hanging that off of my cane that I'm going to have. Gotcha. And even having that included in the costume. But the only problem is, so when we're going to be going out trick-or-treating, apparently she goes like different neighborhoods. So like, you drive to this neighborhood, you trick-or-treat for a little bit, drive to this neighborhood. So like hauling that thing in and out of the car constantly, I'm not really sure it's going to be worth it. But I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Oh, your girlfriend has joined the chat.
Oh, yeah. I was angry that let Halloween have its month. This is true.
Damn right.
This is true. So we haven't quite decided. I do have a plan mapped out for the house, and I might still do that depending on time. And then what else did we? So I can't remember which day this was. I think it was Sunday. As we're in this area of town, one of her friends from college gets a hold of her, and we're going to go hang out. And little did we know, so this area of town that we're in, we're trying to decide where we're going to go. So I'm like, okay, well, let me pull into this parking lot so you can find out from him where she's located or where he's at, and then we'll map it from here. So we ended up like leaving because we were going to go get something. So I didn't actually pull into the parking lot. I kept driving. All of a sudden, she finds out where he's located. She maps it, and we start driving back. We were literally across the street from where they were. The parking lot that I said, I'm going to pull in here so that we can map it. If we had mapped it from that parking lot, it would have said walk across the street because it was literally right there. It could not have been any closer. And then so we get in there, and she's like, yeah, he says it's like a drag queen monkey bingo?
Drag queen monkey bingo.
What the hell? So I mentioned this on the air today, and Buzz was obsessed with it. He flat out said that if he ever gets a chance to go to drag queen monkey bingo, he is there in a heartbeat. And so it's as simple as it sounds. There's monkeys, there's drag queens, and there's bingo. And you sit there, you play bingo. There's monkeys, and the drag queen is calling the cards. Or the balls, what are they? Ping pong balls?
Yeah, balls.
Whatever the hell they are.
If only there were some way we could see what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know. Scott.
Drag queen monkey bingo.
Oh, do we have it up now? Is it up there?
It's up there.
All right, fantastic. So there you go. So that is the picture of the drag queen monkey bingo. You'll notice, and so it makes it look. And I showed Buzz the picture. And Buzz is like, he goes, it makes it look like you're making up with the monkey. The monkey.
Hold on, let's close.
The monkey wouldn't let go of my goddamn beard. Seriously. So we kind of get thrust into this thing where my girlfriend's friend is like, no, go up on stage. They'll take a picture with the monkeys. And we're like, what are you talking about? So all of a sudden we go up there and there's 3 monkeys that are just kind of hovering around. So we go and stand there. The first monkey climbs on my shoulders up and around. And then it ends up on her right shoulder. And then the other monkey climbs on my shoulders and is sitting there. And then they have me hold out my arm. And so I'm sitting with my arm held out for this monkey, and it's sitting there, and it's like right here staring at me, and it keeps grabbing my fucking beard and like pulling on it. And it got to the point where the guy that's running the show is like, all right, that's it. Stop. Like, just get over here. And like, so he calls that monkey away. So then we ended up, with just the 2 monkeys at that point. But no, it was an absolute blast. If anybody has anything to say in the chat, we can do that as well. But that was really kind of it. I mean, I did nothing on the vacation, and it was glorious.
Sounds glorious.
I watched.
You didn't even win at bingo?
I watched TV. No, we didn't win at bingo, unfortunately.
No one wins at bingo.
Yeah, no. Well, we certainly did not. No. And then we had. So I watched a bunch of random TV as well. Have you ever heard of a show called like 90 Day Fiance or something like that?
No.
I hadn't either. And I still don't get what the premise is. But it's these really weird, like, I still don't know how to describe what the show is. But there's just this really awkward situation where this guy had, like, he's like translating things to this chick in like on his phone because she only speaks like Filipino or something like that.
Wait, is this one of those?
But they're like fiancés.
Is this one of those like Korean like soap
Why
operas?
is there a balloon behind you?
I don't know. It's a green screen. I thought I would be kind of like a nice ambiance to the room.
Yeah, no. It was on TLC, which clearly no longer stands for the Learning Channel.
No.
It's just hot garbage on that. So anyway, he's like, how they do these like confessional things, and the guy's talking to the camera, and he's like, I had to admit to her, about my past and yada yada yada, and then it flashes back to the scene where he's with her and he hands her the phone, and he's telling her, hey, I just need to be honest with you, I was. He'd been in jail for something. Oh, he went to jail for arson that he claimed it wasn't his fault. But he did prison time for arson, like I guess hard time too. Like he did like a few years.
Okay.
And that he also had issues with his ex-girlfriend, where his ex-girlfriend was she had put a restraining order out on the guy or something like that. Like just weird shit. And so as he's trying to explain this, and she's flipping through the phone, like reading it in whatever her native language is, the dude just runs, like just leaves. This guy is so awkward and so weird. But I was so fascinated by how shitty this was. And I hate watching television like this because it makes me feel bad. Like, it legitimately makes me feel bad for society, for me, for everybody involved. Like,
it just depresses
the fact that these people exist. Like, that's why I can't watch Jerry Springer. That's why I can't watch any of those goddamn judge shows where it's just shitty people with their shitty lives and they treat people like shit and they're like it makes me feel uncomfortable watching this stuff.
I used to have an ex-girlfriend who, when she would come home, she would put on those judge shows,
Ugh.
Judge Judy, and she would get so angry at all the defendants, right? And I just like, you realize this is all bullshit, right? Like she's like legitimately like soul angry at everybody who's involved, and I'm like, this is reality TV, right? Like it's not real, it's not a thing.
It makes me uncomfortable watching all that stuff. But I was fascinated because this guy just fucking leaves. I want to see if I can find the clip online and I'll put up a blog about it because it was just so weird. Because even the camera crew was like, he just left. Like how they usually keep all those guys behind the scenes, like they don't want them involved. Like you're not a part of the show. And they're like, he fucking left. And he full on, like he's not just running to a car or anything like that. There's like this hill with trees and stuff. He's like hoofing up that thing, and they can't keep up. Like they're trying to keep up with this guy, and he's just running. He gets to this river, and I guess he just went through the fucking river. Like it was so insane watching this. And then after he bolts, all of a sudden, some strange dude with a machete comes up and robs the chick.
What?
Yes, robs her right there with the machete, like steals her cell phone and stuff. And they got it all on film. And like the camera guy's like backing up, like, oh, sorry. And he's like waving the machete at her. So she hands over her phone and stuff. And then those guys run away.
What the fuck was this on?
TLC.
Whatever.
It was the most baffling thing I'd ever seen. And I've seen some pretty crazy stuff on TV, man. But this was hands down the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
You mean like Cop Rock, right? Am I right?
I don't think I ever watched Cop Rock.
That was baffling.
Yeah, well, I'm not agreeing that, or I'm not disagreeing that it wasn't baffling. I've heard of it, but I never actually. I don't think I ever actually watched an episode. But anyway, so apparently there was a question that was brought up to the chat, and I'm going to bring it up here on the AfterBuzz. Where the hell did it go? Somebody, the guy making money. Where the hell did it go? Did you see it, Scott?
What are we talking about?
There was a question that was brought up by Glenn Glass. Somebody thinks my girlfriend's hot. Yeah, she is. We've actually talked about it on the morning show. She's too hot for me, actually. Did you know that, Scott?
That's true.
Yeah, we brought that up. Like she's like way out of my league.
You're punching up. You're punching above your.
Oh, I way out kicked the coverage on this one. I'm just
Yeah.
waiting for her to fucking realize it. And all my stuff's gonna be on the front lawn because she's gonna realize what a schlub I am. And then here we go. So if the man was out of town working, he made all the money. This question for the ladies: would you take control of it all and send him what money you feels he needs each day? Who would need to do that? Like, how shitty is your relationship if you need to do that?
What? Why is this a hypothetical question?
Yeah.
That's even a.
These are the kind of people that are on these weird ass shows on TLC. That's what it is, right?
What's the deal, Glass?
Are you, Glenn? Are you the guy? Are you the dude that ran?
Okay, so if you scroll down, he's got a little bit more of an explanation.
Oh. I make $2.5 grand every 2 weeks. Okay, you're getting way too detailed here, man. Like, I'm going to bring it up to you. There's no need to put, that much detail into this stuff. Like, you don't fucking know anybody here, do you?
This is not a Dungeons and Dragons game.
Glenn, are you lacking friends? Like, we're here to help, but, don't put your social security number in the fucking chat.
So a woman sends him 15 to eat on each day? Like, that's what I eat at each meal.
Yeah. Dude, that's fucked up. Yeah, seriously. Call up TLC. It sounds like you have one of those relationships that they're looking for.
It's
like that's the kind that you
okay, but wait,
run away from, I guess.
But wait, all right. So, Glenn, are you one of those people who has like severe trouble? Like you would overspend all your money? Is this like something she's doing to protect you, or she just a big old bitch?
And who eats on $15?
I mean,
seriously.
That's what are you gonna eat? I mean, you gonna eat gas station sandwiches?
Yeah. Like even if you get out of like vending machines, that's not enough money. But so there's our thoughts on that.
There's way too many questions. That one question brought up like 15 more questions.
Yeah, like what the hell, man. But no, so I mean that's pretty much what I did while I was in Houston. Got to drive forever yesterday. Now trying to figure out like what we're doing for the weekend and stuff. I am hoping if Buzz is a man of his word. So have you heard about our little Halloween war we have, Scott?
No. What's happening?
So we put up decorations at the very beginning of the month, and it's some simple stuff. It's nothing big. We did some silhouettes in the windows with lights around it. We did some stuff on the inside as well. But the outside, you could tell we put in some effort, but it's nothing extravagant like, oh my God, like,
okay.
But it's still fun for Halloween. All of a sudden, like 2 weekends ago, I looked across the street and I noticed that the neighbors have put up one of those projectors on their garage door that's like up a haunted house and stuff.
Okay.
So I talked to my girlfriend. I'm like, Do they always do that? And she's like, no. And she's like, I think it's because we did something. So now we think we're in on this like unintentional decoration war. Yeah. So Buzz brought it up today, and he had mentioned like the big snow globes and stuff of like Jack Skellington, because that's one of the decorations that we do have. Is I drew some Nightmare Before Christmas, like Oogie Boogie and Jack Skellington, so they're in the window, and so I had mentioned that. So Buzz was talking about getting like one of those big life-size Jack Skellingtons for the front, and I'm like, dude, if you buy it, we will put it in the front yard. I have no problem. And he's like, oh, because I don't think they cost that much. I'm like, I'm being serious, man. Like, go buy this. We will put it in the front yard, and then we'll monitor the neighbor's house to see if they're really trying to one-up us. Because dude, here's the thing. If we put something out there, and they then put something else up, that's full-on war.
It's up. This is it.
With Christmas, with Christmas right around the corner.
So anybody who's got Halloween decorations, just bring them to the station.
Hell yeah, man.
Bring them here, and we'll load them up.
Yeah. So just going back to the chat here really quick. Everybody's talking about the $15 on a day. Nobody can eat on that. I don't really understand how the hell that's possible. Rodrigo wants me to bring in Menudo. Why am I getting roped into bringing in Menudo for everybody on Friday? Well, the Menudo is good. Menudo is good. I'm not going to lie. What did we make? Oh, we made chicken pozole a couple weekends ago. And it ended up fantastic. Not going to lie. I'm turning into a Mexican, ladies and gentlemen. What would that change my last name to? Cortez?
Ooh, yeah.
Brandon Cortez?
Brandon Cortez.
Or as they would say frequently on, did you know that there's a Coat Street over off of Doniphan?
I do.
Had no idea.
That's where my vet is.
Oh, well, did you know that a lot of people think that it's pronounced Coates?
No.
Not a joke. Yeah.
I think I'm turning Mexican.
I really think so. All right, so on that note, let's give them 30 seconds here. If you guys want to pump something into the chat, we want to welcome us, back to YouTube, which I thought it was hilarious.
There's newbies in the YouTube chat too, so welcome to our.
Yes, welcome. We'll be back on tomorrow morning. We do this after buzz at 10:30 Mountain Time every Wednesday when things are working properly, like unlike 2 weeks ago when Facebook wouldn't function.
However, I do suggest that anybody who wants to stay in the chat and help Glenn with his life here. You're totally welcome to do that. I think he needs some guidance.
Yeah, clearly. What the hell was I going to say? But yeah, with the YouTube chat, the AfterBuzz will be saved.
Yes. Because
there's no copyrighted material here. It's just that with the morning show, when we do certain things, when you're playing music or anything like that, that's that kind of stuff that we're just having issues. Ryan wants to know why the audio lines up here but not on the morning show. It's two completely different setups. I'm in a completely different room with different cameras, different microphones. And trust me, folks, we have been working trying to figure out why it doesn't line up. Because even on the show today, Scott, this is for you.
Yeah.
It seemed to be changing depending on the camera change.
That's bizarre. No, it's not bizarre. It makes sense.
And so everybody's saying like, oh, you just need more memory or you just need something like this. No, this is not the case. We specifically built this computer. It's something else that's causing this.
The issue is our cameras are IP cameras. They're cameras that come through on the internet. They don't feed into the computer directly. So it has to do with what the internet's doing at any particular time and when we access it.
And Lord knows with our internet, that's probably what's fucking doing it.
That's probably what's doing it. And so each camera is coming up at a different time with a different delay, and so it's making things difficult.
Yeah, because there were some people that were saying that at one point it was really bad where there was almost 5 seconds between the audio and the video, and then it would seem to get better. And trust me, it's something that we're still working on. It's not just if it was a simple fix, it would be done.
Exactly.
Because we actually do give a crap about the product we put out there, but that's why it's frustrating.
Yeah, we're working on it, but it's not an easy answer because every time you call up the camera, it's connecting to the internet on that camera again, and so the delay is different every time. So it's not like you can just set it and leave it and walk away.
Blanca wants to know what's up with my Pats. Their defense sucks. I mean, the defense has been atrocious. They let Jabal Sheard, Chris Long, a lot of those guys leaving free agency who are the pass rushers, and they have no pass rush. There's Trey Flowers, and that's it. And then the injury bug bit him pretty hard with a bunch of guys getting out, or with a bunch of guys just getting hurt. They're going to get Shea McClellan back hopefully soon. They'll get Malcolm Mitchell, one of their wide receivers, back hopefully soon. But it's been a train wreck with that defense. And, when you sign somebody like Stephon Gilmore for that amount of money, you kind of hope he could just come in and be good. But there's just been a lot of problems with that defense. And I actually anticipate that the Patriots will lose this Sunday to the Falcons. But I could be wrong. The last time I said that I expect them to lose, they won. So I'm just going to keep saying they're going to fucking lose.
How are Blanca's Seahawks doing?
Struggling a little bit as well. They did get the win against the Rams, though. But yeah, this has been a really, really odd year for the NFL. Remember at the beginning of the season, it was like the Patriots were up here, and then they had like some of these other tier teams like the Packers, the Seahawks, the Steelers. I don't even think at the beginning of the year the Chiefs were really even put up there yet. Like they were close, but not quite. And then you had like everybody else down here, and now it's a jumbled mess. My girlfriend asked me, I think it was last week, or it might have been, I think when we were driving to Houston, who do you think is going to make it to the Super Bowl? I don't have the slightest clue at this point. It seems to change from week to week, and it usually does anyway, but there's usually also there's a couple of teams that are always at the top. Whether it was the Patriots, the Colts, the Steelers, there was always that one team that you could kind of pick out midway through the season and be like, I like that. They're one of the ones that are going to make it to the Super Bowl. I don't see that this year. Like I don't. And then you had this weekend in or this past weekend in college football, both Washington teams that were ranked lose badly and look really bad losing. Clemson loses their quarterback and they lose to Syracuse. So yeah, football has been pretty nuts. Oh my God, Scott! Really quick before we wrap up? Did you see the Gordon Hayward injury?
No, I heard about it, but I haven't actually seen it.
I feel horrible for that guy. Like they signed him in the offseason. This was going to be Boston's kind of next step up, big year. I still don't know if I completely agreed with the Isaiah Thomas, Kyrie Irving trade from Boston's perspective, because they also gave up. I think they gave up Crowder, who I thought was a big reason that the team's really good, is he's a defensive stud. But man, he goes up for the alley-oop and he comes down and he just lands, and like you can hear it in the audio, and then all of a sudden I can't remember who was announcing the game last night, but he's like, Hayward broke his leg. Hey, oh my God, Hayward broke his leg. And you just see the reaction from the Cleveland Cavaliers bench. They all get up and just run away. Because it's truly like, if this is how your leg is supposed to, or your foot is supposed to be sitting, like that.
No.
And it's like, you can twist your leg if you want to, but like your knee, like your whole leg twists. No. His knee is straight and then right there. Yeah, it was kind of gross. So anyway, on that note, that is how we will leave you with this AfterBuzz. Whee! Go Google that and try not to throw up.
Okay.
Scott, you got anything?
No.
We have anything coming up?
I don't know. When are we going back to Military Gamer Supply?
I don't know. I got to get in touch with them because I think we're going to try and change some things around. I'm actually working on my own character. Like nice. I'm building my own. So, but we'll get all that figured out here in a little bit. But on that note, for myself and Mr. Scott Lewis, you guys have yourself a fantastic day, and we'll see you tomorrow morning on YouTube.
Okay, bye-bye.